like, subscribe, and leave or comment. Series review of AEW Dynamite, the week commencing the 7th of July 2025. So it starts with the CEO, Mercedes Moné, comes out. She calls out Tony Storm for a chat. Tony Storm comes out and they have a little toast. And basically Tony asks if she's afraid. Mercedes Moné says she isn't scared of anybody and she's better than her, and she wants her legacy to speak for itself because she'll have the best legacy. Tony says she fears the only thing she fears is an ordinary death, and then they brawl and Mercedes gets out the ring in case it gets any worse. Then John Moxley calls out Hangman Adam Page, says he's all in Texas Death Match and he better be ready. Then we have Bandido and Brody King versus Kyle Fletcher and Tanoshi Takeshita. Really good match between the four great wrestlers, I should say, two great teams, but in the end, Takeshita gets the victory. Then the Outrunners call out FTR and said they're not done with them. They're coming from still. Then FTR and the Patriarchy sort of give each other props, and Stokey says they'll see if they can do a deal together potentially, so we'll see. Then we have Ricochet versus Blake Christian. Really good match. Go and watch it, but in the end, Ricochet got the victory. Then we have Hurt Syndicate with MJF calls out Mark Briscoe and says, and someone's going to take the tag, and then someone takes the tag titles from the Hurt Business's locker room, so they're not happy. Then we have the Kenny Omega and Okada promo. Then we have MJF and Mark Briscoe going back and forth for a talkie talk. MJF mocks the crowd and impersonates them as well, and then talks about Mark Briscoe's family. Mark then calls out MJF, says he's proud of himself and says he's a rich guy by having family and friends, but Max is morally bankrupt and has no soul. Then basically MJF said it should have been Mark Briscoe in accident, not his brother. Wow. Then we have Tekla versus Megan Bayne versus Queen Amanada versus Tay Mello in a great four-way match. Go and watch it, but in the end, Megan Bayne gets the victory. And then Tekla and Queen Amanada have a brawl. And then we have Mark Briscoe fired up for his match at All In. Then we have Samoa Joe versus Wheeler Yuta. Obviously, Samoa Joe is one of the baddest people in the wrestling business. He's a great wrestler, former AEW world champion, and in the end, he gets the victory. Then in the main event is Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay and the Ops versus the Young Bucks, Death Riders, and John Moxley. Really good match. Go and watch it. Obviously, they're all hard hitters, former champions, but in the end, John Moxley gets the victory. Then afterwards, Swerve Strickland pulls up and he destroys the Young Bucks limo with a crane or whatever it is. And yeah, smashes it up. And the Young Bucks are not happy about that. So let's see what happens at All In.